I want to talk about my buddy Mick. You're going to probably notice that he's from the New England area. He has a 12-year-old as his producer, who's also on mic quite a bit.
If it's a bit, it's brilliant.
The Mick Show starts now.
Hey folks, how you doing there? Welcome. Danny, once again to another great episode, right?
Yeah, they're all great.
They're all great, but this one is particularly great. Of course, I'm your host, Mick Donato, my partner, Danny, in the booth.
Hi, I'm Danny, the other guy.
Another guy. We got a big show today. Lots going on. Plugs are on the screen. But, of course, we've been doing this fundraising campaign all month, February, the Hope for Holte campaign. And we're actually going to pretty much wrap it up, or at least into the home stretch with this great show. Got a great guest lined up. It's Dr. Christina Baxter. Ooh, fancy, huh, Danny?
My mom's a doctor.
Yeah, well, we got a doctor. She's pretty famous, too, it's a great get. So can't wait to bring her on. And we're going to just wrap up this campaign with a huge show. Got a few other surprises. I will say I'm particularly glad, Danny, that February vacation week is over. Are you glad?
School vacation? Why would I be glad to go back to school?
Well, as you know, I've had to watch my ex-wife stand cats.
Oh, I guess that is a good reason.
So that's done. They're back today, but I got scratched by one of them. They're lucky they're still alive.
Oh, is that why you have the Band-Aid on your face?
Yeah, they scratched me. I'm trying to feed them. Jeez, clean up the litter box. It's a pain in the ass. But beyond that, we're going to have a great show. And, of course, we always start the show, Danny, how? By giving thanks.
Thanks to
all those
people.
Brave men and women
who
keep us safe every day. Who are they, Danny?
The emergency responders.
Emergency responders, specifically?
The
fire,
hazmat, law enforcement,
keep the fentanyl off the street.
Military, Navy, Army, Marines, Coast Guard.
Coast Guard's not part of the military unless it's time of war, but we include them, right?
Yes.
And of course, Border Patrol.
Keep
those illegals where they belong.
CIA.
Legal immigrants, come on in. Love to have you.
And
of course, the
CIA and the FBI.
Three-letter agencies:
and the MDS
CIA,
and the DJN,
FBI, ATF, NBA,
and
MLB, DJN.
Yeah.
That would have fun. God bless you all for what you do. We're going to give an update real quick on the Hope for Holte campaign. But if you don't know, which you probably don't, what's really special about today? What is it, Danny? It's February 22nd. What is it?
It's not a holiday or anything.
It's Danny's birthday.
Oh, yeah, it is my birthday.
He turned 14, and I got you a little something, Danny. It's over there in the booth.
What?
I got you a little something.
Where?
Well, it's a little card. It's in the booth.
Where?
It's in the... Danny, it's in the booth, the card.
Yeah, I know, but did you
right
hide it or something? You hid it under the paper.
Oh, it's under the paper. So anyway, go ahead and open that, Danny. He's 14, growing up. That's crazy. Go ahead.
All right.
Special present. Got a card.
Showing the Danny
Yeah. And, love this kid. Been great. Of course, Andy, my cameraman, he turned 16 back in December. The card.
On it.
Check out what's inside it.
Alright. 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 14. Oh!
$14.
$14 for 14 years.
I was
confused at first why it was in ones.
And I wrote something nice in the card there, Danny. What's it say? You can read
I'm the only producer.
What's it say, Danny?
It says, alright.
Come on, Danny.
May this be the sweetest birthday.
Yeah, but what did I write, Danny? Not the crap they put in there.
Best producer this show has ever had from Mick.
Best producer we've ever had.
That's nice and all, but I'm also the only producer the show's ever had.
Well,
so
by definition, the best. The other thing is, someone very special sent you a little birthday wish video. Bring it up there, Danny.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you find it there? I sent you the link.
Oh.
Birthday wish, bring it up.
Wait, who's someone special?
Watch this.
Hey, to the brains behind the Mick Donato show, Danny, have a great 14th
Is that
birthday.
Holty?
Look forward to the next show.
Is that Holty?
I think that was Dave DiGregorio. I think. But it looked like he had some butter on his phone lens. It's all.
That's
But
so it's
that's
not
a big
Holty.
deal. You got a birthday wish from basically next in line to the governor, I think.
Oh right, that was the. Oh, I feel.
So happy birthday, Danny. Great day.
I messed them up. I mixed them up there.
Speaking of Holty, let's get an
Thank you.
update.
Thank you very
We want to
much,
bring on
Mick.
a guest very soon. Let's get an update on the Hope for Holty fundraising campaign. So you got the website there, Danny? He's counting his money.
I'm just putting everything together.
There it is. Look at that, Danny.
Oh boy. Oh.
$2,160.
Who?
Look at
David
that.
Ladd donated a
A
grand.
generous donation of $1,000,
Got
but
some
everyone who
anonymous
donated.
ones.
How far are we, Danny?
We're very close. We're
How much we need left?
340 away.
$340, folks. That's it.
Wow.
And I know we can do that. We can blow that away. This is the last week of the campaign. And please, please, please do what you can. God bless all those who have donated so far. It's been great. Really appreciate it. I know Scott and Helen, they appreciate it. So what do you think, Danny?
I think that's pretty
Doing so
cool.
good. All right, take it down.
Pretty
Take it down.
great. Okay.
Without further ado, as they say, we're going to bring on a very special guest. And this is actually our last guest of this series. I'm going to talk about what we're planning for next week. But let's bring her on, Danny. Is she there? It's Dr. Christina Baxter. Is she there, Danny?
Yeah.
Dr. Baxter, you there? Can you hear her?
I'm here.
Oh, there she
Okay.
is. How you doing, Dr. Baxter?
Wonderful. How are you? And happy birthday, Danny.
Thank you. Thank
14,
you very much.
growing up.
Yeah.
So Dr. Baxter is pretty well known, certainly among my fans in the community. Her website and business is, I think it's emergencyresponse.tips.com. Get that right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. We're going to get to know you. But first, I just want to ask this. Everyone calls you Dr. Baxter. And but are you a medical doctor? How's that work?
Definitely not. I missed out on the sympathy gene, so I have a PhD in chemistry.
Oh, chemistry. Hey, just
Oh,
like your
so
mom and
just
dad.
like, hey, that's pretty cool.
Anyways, I find it weird when people who have PhDs call themselves doctor.
I don't.
I do too.
Yeah, it's like if you can't prescribe me Percocet for my bad knee, or better yet, if you're not willing to give a digital rectal exam to some old man who might have
Digital?
prostate cancer,
Yep.
shouldn't he call
Not
himself
gonna do it.
doctor?
How would you do that?
Exactly.
So
Wait, how would you do that digitally?
he doesn't know. You'll learn someday, Dan. You'll learn the hard way.
Oh god.
Wait till you hit 50, you'll find out.
Yeah. Anyways, I also understand you're from. Now you live in Florida, but you're from Massachusetts originally.
I am.
What part?
Well, a little known place out in the central western Mass line called Orange, Mass.
Orange.
Orange.
Never heard of it.
Named after a color or a fruit.
Yeah. So.
Or both.
But you got your PhD and you're from Mass, so you obviously went to either MIT or Harvard. Is that correct?
No, I went to Georgia Institute of Technology.
Georgia Tech.
Dang. That's like
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
a
Yeah, they have a pretty good basketball team, I guess. So, yeah, good for you.
I have no idea.
By the way, I don't believe you're from Mass. You do not sound like it. you have no accent at all.
Doesn't-
You sound like you're
That's
from Iowa.
wonderful because I say wicked all the time,
Oh, okay.
and people look at me very strangely.
Now, what got you to Florida, though?
wicked
I mean,
smile.
no one from Massachusetts, unless they're like 85 years old, moves to Florida. It's too damn hot.
Well, actually, I'm 85, and I didn't want to bring it up, but
Well,
thanks
you don't
for
look
putting
a
that
day
out.
over 60.
Oh.
So,
Well, thank you so much, Mick.
by the way, We talked about this recently. Did you get hit by any of those fallen iguanas down there?
I did not. I was kind of hoping for that because that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But no falling iguanas at my house.
Oh,
Did
good for
you
you.
like see any like on the street or something?
Yeah, like dead iguanas.
Oh, no. I've got all those little geckos instead at my house.
Right. Good stuff. Just trying to get you to know a little bit, but I really want to get into who you are and what you do. Now, your business, right? Emergency response tips. Kind of tell us about your background. Again, a lot of people know you, but we got some new fans of the show from all over the world. Kind of tell us about your background, how you got started, and sort of what you do with the emergency response community.
So I guess background I have for education-wise, I have undergraduate degrees in chemistry and environmental toxicology from UMass Amherst.
The two of them.
And my doctorate from Georgia Tech in analytical chemistry.
Okay.
But most of what I've done in the past has been in the hazmat world, so hazardous materials response and firefighting.
Have you?
So,
sorry, interrupt. Have you been a hazmat responder then? Like you actually? Were,
yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, for many years.
Cool.
So that's where my love of chemistry actually came from, is from the hazmat side of things. So I then went forward and got my doctorate, but most of my background and interest has always been in the field operations side of things, including my PhD.
Oh, cool. That is really cool.
So I was lucky enough to get the chance to do the PhD on exactly what I wanted, and then most of that was for military research. So I had a lot of funding from Marine Corps.
Oh, military.
And
yep, go ahead.
looking towards new threat materials and detection of them.
So you worked for the government at one point then?
I did work for the government for about 15 years.
Wow.
And while there, I oversaw a program under the Special Operations umbrella, which was for chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear type materials, and then explosives was added in partway through my time.
Jeez, oh Pete, you
Okay.
hear that?
Okay, wow. Yeah,
That is
I
impressive.
heard it.
Let me ask you
It
this.
sounds impressive, but it was just fun.
Doing all that though, work for the government, right? Probably some secret stuff, special operations. Do you have like a top secret clearance and all that? Like you know?
We don't generally talk about that kind of thing, so,
Okay.
but
Oh,
yes, there are clearances involved with most work in that area.
That's a yes.
you know,
Andy.
Mick, that sounds like something someone with special clearance would say.
Yeah, that's a yes. I was just wondering, if you could tell us, on the record, are there really aliens down at Roswell? You probably know. You've probably been there.
I think you have like one alien that's living in Massachusetts by the name of Travis Rebello,
Yes.
but that's the only one I'm aware of.
Yeah,
Wait, didn't
yeah.
we have him on the show? at one
We've had him
point?
on the show, but I
I
agree with
think
you.
he was on the show.
I kind of question,
He was an alien this whole
Yeah.
time?
is
Just
he,
by looking at him, it's obvious.
is he of this world? I don't know. But I guess we'll have to leave that to ponder.
I thought he just looked like a normal human person.
So what do you do these days? Like for the most part, so obviously you were in hazmat, you work for the government, with your company. What do you do for the most part?
So most of what I do a lot of training, which is my fun part. So I do go out and do training with first responders.
Yep.
Still. And then like this week, I'll be doing a class on emerging threats and then another class on detection at trace levels.
Okay.
So very low levels of materials, being able to figure out if they're there or not. And then I train a lot on the counter-drug type of areas and chemical and biological warfare.
Oh, wow. So you basically do a lot of teaching, is what you say. You
I
take
do
your
a lot of
experience,
teaching and
yeah, and of course, what
work
they say,
with a
Danny,
lot of manufacturers.
those who can do, and leave the rest to you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We've talked a lot about drugs, especially fentanyl. I don't know if you saw the show with Dave DiGregorio.
I did.
Yeah. And the problem with the fentanyl and all that here in the Northeast. But I actually wanted to ask you, because this is something we haven't talked about. These, they call them Novichoks. And I learned about this from Danny's dad, Mark, because he's kind of into this. But what the hell is this stuff? I guess it's in the news recently. Why do we care? Just kind of educate us a bit on this Novichok thing.
Well, Novichoks are, they're number one, you'll hear them by different terms. So you'll hear them called A-series agents. You'll hear them called fourth-generation agents. And sometimes you'll hear them called Novichoks. They're all the same thing. They are a newer type of nerve agent. Ooh. So similar to, if you remember back to things like VX, you may have heard of, or even sarin.
Yeah, can I interrupt you there real quick? Yeah. So VX, as we all know, from the movie The Rock, is bright green, comes in a ball, and you get it in your mouth, and basically your face melts off. So we know that.
So, yeah.
So how's that compared
to
this?
I'm not sure that's exactly in line with how it works.
All right.
But if you were to get it in your mouth, you would not be here to tell us about it anyway, so it wouldn't be an issue.
Ooh. So
if you remember back to the Tokyo, in 1995, before Danny was with us, there was an event that happened in Tokyo in the subways, and that used a nerve agent called sarin.
Sarin. That was in Japan, by the way, Danny.
Yes.
Yep.
And so those people were exposed, and, some died, and there were a lot of injuries. And that was the first operational use from a terrorist organization in a large scale of a nerve agent. God. And that's the one most people think back to, where they deployed it in a subway. Now, you move forward to most recently in the United Kingdom, in Salisbury, there were a few different people who were exposed to what was called the Novichok agent.
That's England,
and in that case, it was an assassination attempt.
Ooh.
And so these materials were used by some, how do you say, we'll just say it, Russian agents.
Russians.
That used it against a prior double agent who was a former Russian agent who had been turned by the UK government and was a double agent for the UK.
This is like James Bond crap, Dan.
It is.
Really,
it's really an interesting case.
I mean, what did they do? Like take an umbrella, a little thing, and like stick the guy, or did they just throw a bag of this crap? I mean, this is crazy.
Got a sniper.
In this case, there have been issues years ago where umbrellas have been used to puncture somebody's skin and give them a dose of a material. But in this case, Novichoks are actually go through the skin. So unlike misinformation you talked about last time, we were talking to Dave DiGregorio, people often thought fentanyl went through the skin, which it does.
Just if
you have it sitting there for many, many, many hours.
Right, we learned that.
But Novichoks actually go through the skin pretty readily. And that's what makes them a really good assassination tool.
Jeez, Dan.
So they had sprayed it on the doorknob of the guy's home.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And unfortunately, it was a rainy night.
Yeah.
So it's water soluble, so it kind of spread a little bit farther than it would have had they just sprayed it on a day that wasn't raining.
Jeez,
so as the gentleman from that now lived in Salisbury, his daughter was visiting, and they were going to go out and have some drinks, then go to dinner and go for a walk, that type of things, as you do. And in this case, they closed the door when they were leaving, unbeknownst to them that there was another material, that material was on the door because it had been raining, so a wet doorknob meant nothing to them.
Yeah.
So they went about their business, and then they went to a place to have drinks.
Yep.
So think about if you had something dirty on your hand, every place you touch, you leave traces of it.
Sure.
So as they went,
in your hand, you're going to leave that little residue. They're walking around. Yeah.
And they're just leaving.
So as they went to the bar and then went to the restaurant, they left traces everywhere they went. Not knowing it was there and knowing that it's a dermal threat, meaning it'll go through your skin.
Right.
As they went about their business that night, having a nice dinner and all, it was actually making its way through the skin.
Jeez, Lee. And did they just, again, like the VX, did the face just melt off as soon as they touch it?
Scary.
Sounds like
yeah,
not the case.
No, not really. But in this case, if it was going to happen anywhere, it happened in the best place possible for it to be solved quickly.
Yeah.
Because the area in the UK where this occurred, in a town called Salisbury, is right outside of a town called Porton Down.
Okay.
Which is where the largest, probably one of the best in the world, facilities for chemical defense is located.
Wow.
So you had a lot of people in that area with really good scientific backgrounds and understandings of these types of threats.
All right. So it's going to happen anywhere. That's probably the place because they could kind of figure out what's happening. How many people died in that? Like 100? 200?
Really, they did not. Not too many people died.
Okay.
The issue that you had is after they had dinner, they went and they kind of fed the ducks at the outside the cathedral, and then they sat on a bench, and they both passed out against one another. And then an observant police officer came along, and he noticed that they were passed out, and automatically in today's day, when you see two people passed out on a bench, everybody automatically goes to thinking it's an opioid exposure.
Yeah, at least they would probably ham it or just drugs, whatever.
Exactly. You see drugs automatically today. So they went forward and tried to treat them from a drug overdose with no luck. They transported them to the hospital for further treatment and again treated them for an opioid exposure with no luck.
Yeah.
And thankfully, a very astute medical team at the hospital noticed increased salivation and secretions from the gentleman.
They were drooling, Dan.
Yeah, a lot of drool, tearing, drooling, boogers, all kinds of stuff.
Nasty stuff.
So we start thinking about that, then they made the jump from an organophosphate type of exposure. So that could be a pesticide or a nerve agent or any of these things.
All right.
So they made the right jump and did a quick test, blood test, and found out that, yes, it was an organophosphate.
Okay, that means nothing to me, but sorry, go ahead, and then I have another question. Go ahead.
Oh, that completely changed the way that the treatment that you would do. So instead of treating for fentanyl, they started treating for the appropriate thing.
I see.
And thereby saved their lives.
Oh, wow. Well, here's the question I have. So this stuff's on the doorknob, right? Or wherever.
Yep.
And, of course, they're going to the pub. How do you clean this crap up? I mean, you don't just take some spick and span and just, wipe it up. It's got to be a terrible thing.
So unfortunately, it's not very easy to destroy. It's a very hardy material. Jeez. It likes to sit around forever. It's very, almost think of it as oil. So if you had an oil on a surface, it would just kind of absorb into a lot of the surfaces and just stay there. So in your garage, on your floor, you can probably heard the Massachusetts when I said garage. But on the floor, when you have an oil spill, you can actually see it, and the residue goes into the concrete.
Okay, yeah. No, I get the
This is very similar.
Okay.
Very oily material.
Wow.
But it's also water soluble, so it'll just move with water instead of being taken care of.
Like oil floats on water. But here you're saying it can actually get in the water, and then wherever the water goes. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So there's ways to destroy it, but they're not as simple as we're used to. You can't just use soap and water.
Well,
you can, to get it off your skin, try to use soap and water. But when it's on a surface, you're going to end up using a hydrogen peroxide, a peracetic acid, one of those types of chemicals to destroy it.
We used hydrogen peroxide, Danny, remember, to make the elephant toothpaste. Remember that? A while back. Same stuff. Anyways, pretty cool. However, I will say this. You have scared the living crap out of me. I don't want to take the tea up there in Boston. I mean,
well, the
who
good
knows?
news
You touched
is
the handle and some Russian came by and squirted. I mean, should we just be scared to death? It's crazy.
So there's two really good take-home messages about this.
Yep.
First one is there is little to no known threat for use of this material outside of the specific assassination attack that occurred.
Yeah.
It occurred to assassinate an individual.
Okay.
We have not had any intelligence information of any interest in using it in the United States at this point in time. Now, the second good thing is those people who were the target of the attack did not die. And one of the things that helped them is that they washed their hands and tried and removed a lot of the material.
Because it's water soluble. You wash your hands, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And it takes about 2 hours at least to get through your skin.
Oh, okay.
So your skin, as you can imagine, is a great barrier material because we're still alive. If it wasn't, none of us would be alive today.
That's true.
So it's a great barrier. So washing your hands and keeping things taken care of is important.
Yeah.
So I always say to people, my rules to live by, if you touch something with your hands, if it's icky, sticky, wet, and not yours, don't touch it.
That goes for boogers, poop, and Novichok.
Why would I want to touch a poop?
By the way, I just want to ask you, the hand sanitizers. I mean, we all use that all the time, right? I mean, does that do the same thing?
So no, the hand sanitizers wouldn't help you any in this case.
Okay.
But the wiping or the removal process is a much better help of trying to remove it.
The physical.
But any pressure will push it in.
All right. Well, we've learned a lot, Danny. I went from being scared to death to now, wash your hands. You know.
Yeah.
And don't piss off any Russians.
And don't lick windows. It's still not good.
It's still not good. Thank you so much. I'm going to move on to a different topic, Dr. Baxter. But I was on your website just doing some research. I noticed you have a section called podcasts. And I watched a couple the hazmat guys. And we've had one of them on, Bobby. You know Bobby Salvas?
Sadly, I do.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, maybe the show will end up there. Because we're educating the community. I'm just saying. Very popular. But I got to move on. If you saw the episode with Dave DiGregorio, we played a little game called How Well Does Dave Know Hazmat? And he did pretty well. He won. But he got a lot of crap, all right, because he missed a couple of questions. I don't know, if you remember. And then someone on Facebook sent me a message. You need to get a real hazmat guy on there. Apparently, giving Dave crap. Not a real hazmat guy. You obviously know your stuff. Got a PhD, you're smart. So I thought it'd be fun as we're wrapping up this huge campaign. By the way, you following the Hope for Holte campaign? You seen that? Are we doing a fundraiser?
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's been great. We're kind of wrapping it up in the home stretch. Danny, we have a surprise guest. Let's see if we can bring him on.
Okay.
Go ahead and add. Don't know if it's going to work, folks, because we have never done this before. Bring him on. There he is.
Hello.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
We have joining the show, Mike. Is it Monaco or Monaco?
Either way, a rose is a rose by any other name smells just as sweet.
Mike is co-host of the Hazmat Guys podcast. I listened to the one you guys did on the periodic table, and you were butchering the names of all those scientists and of all people. Go ahead.
I'm from New York. I butcher everything.
Well, of all people, Bobby Salveson was correcting you, so I don't do that. But I was saying we got Dr. Baxter here. I think you know her, right?
I do. Hello, Doc.
Hey, Mike.
And I was saying that when Dave DiGregorio was in the last show, he got some crap not knowing enough about hazmat. Someone messaged me and said, you should get a real hazmat guy. So what we do? We got literally a hazmat guy. And Bobby couldn't be on. Apparently, he's on a cruise.
Yes. He's investigating Corona right now.
Yeah, he's either getting deathly ill with the coronavirus or from some tainted vodka. One of those shit.
I wish him nothing less than the norovirus.
Anyways, the scariest part, because I've met Bobby, is picturing him in a Speedo by the pool.
Dear God.
Yeah, put that in it.
Oh.
Anyways, Mike, thanks so much. The hazmatguys.com do a great podcast. I don't understand most of it, but it's pretty cool.
Neither do I, to be really honest with you.
That's pretty clear. So what we're going to do, we're going to play a little game with you, Dr. Baxter. By the way, can I just call you Christina? Is that
It's Christina. I don't use the doctor.
Yeah. How well does Christina know hazmat? Mike is going to ask you 5 questions, Christina, about hazmat. I have not seen them. I have no idea. But he is going to be the judge, jury, and as they say, execution on this. So he knows the answers. Here's the deal. You know about the Hope Beholty campaign. 5 questions. Every question you get right, the show, right, Danny, is going to donate $20. Right?
Oh.
So you're on the hook.
Oh.
Every question Christina gets wrong, she is going to donate $20. She didn't know that, but that's what's going to happen.
Oh.
No.
All right. So at first I felt bad about these questions, and now I don't.
I'm kidding. The show's going to chip in. All right. We're just here for fun.
I guarantee nothing. I'll be putting a lot of money in. I take it, but
either way, Hope is going to get $100 from the show.
no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. So again, I want to play this. So Mike, are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's see what Dr. Christina Baxter knows about hazmat. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. There are tremendous variations in how we measure things in the world. So I was curious if you knew how many gallons are in a buttload.
Good question.
Buttload.
That's a hard one, but
I've never heard of a buttload.
I would say I'm trying to think of Bobby Salveson in a Speedo with the norovirus, and I'm gonna go with that's got to be at least 5 gallons.
It's 384 gallons.
300. So she got that one wrong.
Well,
It is an actual measurement.
Huh.
And the quantity is 384.
So does that mean that Bobby would be covered with that much poop if the norovirus came?
Absolutely.
Just picturing
I mean,
Bobby
wait.
in one of those
That
tubes.
$20 was well worth that image.
She's technically
Well,
not wrong because she said at least 5.
This is true. But anyways, good question.
All right.
So we're
That's
0 for
fair
1.
enough.
0 for 1.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right. So in our world, ATM can mean many, many things.
Oh, God.
What does it mean in terms of chemical and physical properties?
Atmosphere.
That is correct.
Got it right. I
But
know
it's
where you were
also
going.
a common name now. It's how do you pronounce the common name?
What is the common name?
It's a name now. So how do you pronounce the name? If somebody's name is spelled ATM, how do you pronounce it?
Mick.
Adam.
I was thinking something else. My mind was... Anyways, let's leave it at that.
Automated
No,
transaction
you can't think of
machine.
one of those lines.
Well, 1 for 2.
My
1 for 2.
mind was on automated transaction machine. Is
All
that
right.
the right?
No, it's not, Danny.
Okay.
Enough out of you, Danny. We got a contest going on. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. 3 things that you must know before using an APR or a PAPR.
So you're going to need to know your oxygen concentration.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need to know your toxicity levels. So you need to know the identity of the chemical and what level it's at. Okay, so that it's less than ideal H. Okay, and you're going to need to know what PPE you're going to wear that it can work.
You actually got it. You actually got it with the first 2. The first 3. The OPA, the O2, the levels, and the material.
And we learned from Dave DiGregorio, PPE stands for personal protective gear.
Yeah. It's how
Yes.
he spells it. It's strange. It's an Italian thing.
It's an Italian.
The G is actually silent normally.
Good stuff. So what are we, 2 for 3?
So far, 2 for 3, yes.
Yeah, great stuff. Good job, Dr. Baxter. All right, next one, Mike.
If Neon were to walk into a bar and the bar refused to serve Neon, what would Neon do?
If Neon walked into a bar.
I'm not sure if this really hazmat.
Is neon like a hazmat thing?
I would say just dissipate.
It would have no reaction.
That was a hazmat joke.
I learned that from listening to your show. They don't react. Neon's one of those. I listened to it. I knew that.
Yes, those noble gases, no reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
What is your favorite PPE?
My favorite PPE?
That's not true.
Favorite PPE?
Well, does it have to be hazmat related or no?
Whatever you like.
Okay, so I really like that outfit you had with the little elephant trunk.
I have no idea.
The foam outfit, or the trunk high or low? Because there were
low.
two. It was low. Yeah,
low.
that was
Yeah, I
definitely
think
one of
that's
mine.
cute. Yeah,
But I'm sorry,
if
no.
you want hazmat,
We were looking for crash fire rescue gear was the correct answer.
How do you get it wrong when the question is what's your favorite? That's what I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
that's just part of the fun.
What's she
I
end
lost
up?
you guys again.
She's down in Florida
Now you're back.
with some
So was
Wi-Fi
I wrong
connection.
with that?
Yes, the answer was crash fire rescue gear. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I really thought it was that elephant thong.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So
Was that a thong? Could you really consider that to be a thong?
I don't know what the
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know. Let's show it to Mick and let him
Oh
decide.
God, no.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, hold on. Let me go find it.
So what did we do?
No.
What? 2 out of 5? 3 out of 5? Where are
I've
we?
lost 2 already.
That would have been 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. So
Oh,
yeah, Hope for Holte is getting $40 from our show and $60. Yeah, we're gonna give it donations.
I'm just going to round it up to 100 because I was confused on most all of them.
Well, yeah, but hey, who better to ask than a real hazmat guy? I want to ask you both. Thank you
Wearing
so much,
an
Mike.
elephant thong.
That was great. Real quick, serious question though. Real quick though, we kind of talked about coronavirus. Now I got some experts on here, and it's crazy. Mike, before you joined, we were talking about the Novichoks, which basically means don't go outside, or you might touch a doorknob and die. However, with this corona thing, people die. Can one of you, and Mike, I'll go to you first, but then Dr. Baxter, go back to you. What's the reality? What's happening with this coronavirus thing? Seriously.
It's an interesting virus coming from an interesting part of the world.
Yeah.
We know a little bit about it, but we don't know a tremendous amount about it because it is coming from an area that we're not necessarily getting all the information.
Yeah.
We do know that it is a corona type virus, which is very similar to your common cold. We see there's a whole family of coronas out there. It is just a matter of how this coronavirus is going to interact with human beings, how it's going to be transferred from one human to another. Close contact, fecal material, aerosolized.
That's
some of these
poop,
questions
Dan.
are actually
Yes, I know
that's
that.
poop.
Yeah.
Some of these questions are actually still out there in the open. They're not 100% sure if it's being transferred via aerolization. They're not quite sure exactly how transferable from person to person it is. So there's still a tremendous amount of questions that are unknown, at least in my level. Dr. Baxter might have a whole different level playing field that she's on, being given access to information that I could only dream of.
Well, we know she has a top secret clearance. She knows stuff that we'll never know. Before I go to you, here's the thing. I know it comes from China, and all I know about coronavirus is the memes I see on Facebook. It's like the beer, and I saw one like man with coronavirus seeks woman with Lyme disease. Like that's kind of the joke.
That one was great.
Yeah. But anyway, Christina, I want you to chime in, your perspectives. I mean, this is a serious topic, but I kind of want to educate people. What are we dealing with here?
It actually is a serious topic because just if you remember back not too long ago, there was the SARS outbreak, which was another coronavirus. When these get into like hospitals and things, it can be really critical, especially for those people with compromised immune systems. So the elderly, immunocompromised, some children, it can be a matter of life and death pretty quickly. It is a coronavirus, so that means that it does spread through droplets and other things.
Okay.
One of the things that you need to think about is when it spreads via droplet and it spreads via air transmission, a lot of people think of that as airborne. But really what it means is as the cough occurs or as the sneeze occurs, and all of that mucus comes out with the coronavirus attached. As it dries out, it still's mobile.
Oh, okay.
It's still available up to about 9 days post-transmission. So you need to decontaminate surfaces. If you are the EMS personnel, so emergency medical response, to a patient that potentially has it, then you want to use standard precautions that exist as well as precautions for an airborne threat. So you would try to put a medical mask on the patient and an N95 mask on the responder.
Okay.
You want to make sure your eyes are covered, whether it's with glasses or with a face shield or goggles, just so that if they do sneeze before that mask is on them, it doesn't go into your eyes or nose or mouth. Oftentimes you'll end up, if they have a lot of liquids coming out, whether that be vomit or coughing, sneezing, you might want to even have a kind of a apron type of thing on for liquid, things to keep the liquids off of you.
Yeah.
And then really have to destroy it.
Yeah. So
as you transport the patient, you got to destroy the material after.
Now, you see all the people, especially in China, walking around with little masks, like the Home Depot mask. Is that effective? Are they protecting themselves, or are they trying to protect other people if they sneeze? I'm just curious because you see it all over.
Yeah, so those medical masks are intended to protect the other people.
Right, okay.
So what's happening is the person that potentially has an exposure would wear the medical mask, and as you can imagine, as you sneeze and things, it gets caught in that mask.
Okay.
So it's quite disgusting to think about because it's right there against the face.
Yeah, I get that.
However, it does minimize, doesn't completely resolve, but minimizes the spread of the viral particles.
Well,
I've seen people like in those Asian areas wear masks not for a virus or anything, but just because of like the pollution.
They wear them all the time. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Home Depot, get a plastic suit. That's what I'm walking around because I'm scared to death.
You're going to have like a big
one of the
yellow
things that Corona will not go through is a plastic bag.
All right.
So you could, so if you use the plastic bag and you wrapped it tight enough around the neck,
that's a very bad idea.
Yeah, it won't be able to get into your mucus membranes.
You won't get coronavirus.
Yeah, but you'll choke.
That is correct.
You will choke to death.
Yeah, you might die from something
You
else.
could choke to death, yes.
All right.
And if you use chem tape, you can help it happen for us faster.
Listen, we're going to wrap up soon. Mike, thank you so much for joining the hazmatguys.com.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to plug while you're on the show?
No.
Yeah, all right. So we'll just throw that up there. Check them out. Got a great podcast. We're going to wrap up with Christina, but Mike, thank you so much. Hey, we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Sounds good, Mick.
Take care, sir.
Thanks, Mike. Great questions. No, not really.
Sweetheart.
See you soon.
No,
Bye.
Not yet, Danny. Not yet,
Bye.
Danny. Not yet, Danny. Danny's, all right. Christina, last thing we do with all our guests. We play a game. Know what it is, Danny?
What?
Now, this one's an easy one.
Oh, wait,
although no one ever wins, hardly. We like to play, what is it, Danny?
What's your favorite sandwich?
Yeah, roll the production, Danny.
And now it's time for What's Your Favorite Sandwich? With your host, Mick Donato.
So, Christina, how this works, you've seen the show. Danny's going to try to guess what your favorite sandwich is. All right? You're going to draw it. And we're running long, Danny, so don't take forever. It's not like a Monet.
As fast as I can.
And
What's
you got to
a
tell us
Monet?
what your favorite sandwich is. All right? And see if you get it right. And while we're waiting, I want to tell everyone it's brought to you by our great sponsor, SandwichForYou.com. Sandwich for You. You go online, you order the sandwich. It's delivered by drone directly to your doorstep in the patented Sandy Wrap packaging, hot and fresh. SandwichForYou.com. Great sponsor. Almost got it, Danny?
Almost.
I can hear it. So it's pretty simple. That's how we play. So, Christina.
And remember, I have no video, so you have to describe it to me.
Yeah, we'll make sure. We'll make sure you know. You'll see it when you see the show. All right, Danny, ready? He's got another marker. Jeez, Danny. He's an artist, so he takes this very seriously. This has been great, by the way. I think we've learned something, really, and we've had some fun.
Okay.
That's fun. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Hold on, Danny. All right, here we go. Dr. Christina Baxter. Very famous. Emergency response community. Everyone wants to know, what is your favorite sandwich?
So my favorite sandwich is a roast beef grinder from the Repuses in Orange, Massachusetts. So
from Orange.
Family Town Pizza.
All right, what you got, Danny?
All right.
Tell us.
I feel like I wasn't too far off. I guessed Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe. Close enough. We'll give it to you.
Oh,
Sloppy Joe.
I mean, that girl likes to eat, so
Sloppy Joe.
I like that.
We'll give it to you.
2 buns and a bunch of meat.
Christina, thank you so much. It's been great. We've learned a lot. You've been a great sport. Really appreciate your time, all right? And,
Thank you guys so much. And Danny, have a wonderful birthday.
And we look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing this podcast up on your site. I know we will. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you. It's start. Here we go. All right. Boy, that was great, huh, Danny?
Yes.
It's been kind of a longer show, but we've done a lot of stuff. Again, we're wrapping up.
Long show.
Real quick, next week, we're not going to have a guest. We're going to do maybe something quick because I want to sort of wrap up the whole month. But next Saturday, I have to go to a wedding.
Who?
Yeah. So
who's getting married?
Well, I've talked about my friend Tobias.
Oh, yeah, I remember Toby.
He's a rocker. He's getting married. Turns out, Toby prefers the company of men.
Oh,
all right,
good for him.
Which is fine. Yeah, I just didn't know. But here's the thing: the wedding. I haven't met his partner, whatever you call it, but it's in Provincetown. Yeah, you know where that is, Danny?
No, is it in Providence?
Provincetown is way the hell out on the tip of Cape Cod. It's like a 4-hour drive.
Oh.
So I got to go there. I got to get him a gift. I'll tell you this. Not going to tell you where they're registered, but it's not Target. Let's just say that. I got to do that. Then I got to drive all the way to Provincetown, way on the tip of Cape Cod. By the way, the reception is at a bar called Just the Tip.
Oh.
That's pretty cool. I guess because it's on the tip of whatever.
Of Cape Cod.
But anyway, I got to do something quick, and then I got to get out of here, the studio, by like 2 o'clock. So
okay.
We'll do that. And God bless him. But here's the problem I have with the whole thing. You know what it is?
What?
What's the date next Saturday, Danny? Today's the 22nd.
Today is Saturday.
Yeah, but
wait,
what's
next
the date?
Saturday?
Today's the 22nd.
Wouldn't that be the 29th?
29th.
Yeah.
It's a leap year.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the fact that
Who gets married on February 29th?
Oh.
What, are you going to have an anniversary every 4 years?
I think most people just have their anniversary.
That's the problem I have. Again, God bless him, and I wish him well, and I can't wait to go. Just crazy. However, I do.
I don't think that's a bad thing. That just means that when every leap year, it just means it's more special.
Yeah, I guess so. Speaking of special, guess what I got? I got a date.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a date. Met her on Tinder. Her name is Consuela.
Consuela?
Yeah. English is a little spotty, but she's nice. Been out a couple times. So I got to leave the studio, pick her up. She lives in Fall River, but then go out there. So next week we'll do something real quick. But let's wrap up this one. I want to thank Dr. Christina Baxter. She was a great guest. Was Mike Monaco? Or Monaco, I forget. Anyway, the hazmat guys. And they were fantastic. Hope for Holty. We're almost there, Danny. please donate. Only what?
We're very close.
Some bucks?
340.
And let's just, even if we hit the goal.
Only 240 after this episode.
Keep donating. Keep donating. Let's surpass that goal, and we'll see where we are next week. Of course, I want to give special thanks to all those brave men and women who risk their lives keeping us safe. That's fire, hazmat, law enforcement, military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Of course, include Coast Guard, Border Patrol, and all the brave men and women, the three-letter agencies, FBI, CIA, ATF.
I forgot to join.
And of course, Danny.
DJN.
Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Any final thoughts on your birthday episode?
It's my birthday.
Any final thoughts?
I'm 14 now.
Yeah. That's it?
Yeah.
All right. Folks, thanks so much for watching. Donate to Hope for Holte. We'll see you next week.
Wasn't I 12 when we started?
You were.
Wow. We've been doing this for 2 years.
All right. There you go. See you next week. Take care. This has been the Mick Donato Show.